What a competition this could be. A really intriguing battle between two Americans at the peak of their powers, and of course a whole host of other world-class women hoping to spoil the Stars and Stripes party. Remember, I think they've had 6 golds already. It's been a fabulous championship. Reese and Bartoletta going toe-to-toe. There's Lorraine Hugen, 5th in Beijing, world indoor bronze medalist last year. She qualified well with 6.63, getting so close to that 7-meter marker. You go, girl. Good to see her dancing there to the music. Blessing Okabare, really good sprinter, silver medalist in the long jump back in Beijing, and got a silver as well in magnificent style in Moscow. Ivana Stanovich, hoping to become Serbia's first medalist of the Games. World indoor silver last year, Olympic bronze last year, and twice a bronze medalist in the World Championship. Very consistent. Daria Klishina, she was the only Russian representing their athletics team last year. Neutral athlete once again, best qualifier was 6.66. Chantel Malone, flag bearer for the British Virgin Islands at the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow. And on Tortola, they'll be cheering her tonight. 3 times a national champion, went well in the Pan American Champs in Toronto. Elaine Martens of Brazil, lifetime best there, 6.72. Lauma Grieva of Latvia, 32 now. PB came back in 2011. She qualified with 6.58. Claudia Salmon-Rath, the 5th best jumper in the world this year. 8th in the heptathlon here, 4th back in Moscow, hoping to go even better here in an individual event. Alina Rotaru of Romania, 5th in the World Juniors a few years ago, made the World Indoor Final last year. What about this woman? 3 times a world champion indoors, 3 times a world champion outdoors, Olympic gold here in London 5 years ago. She wants her 2 global titles back, taken from her by this woman. Tiana Bartoletta, the defending world champion, the reigning Olympic champion, bidding to become a double world champion in the long jump and join an illustrious list of some of the world's greats. And from Australia, Brooke Stratton, 7th last year, not too far away from the podium at the World Indoors, Oceanian record holder. That's the lineup for the women's long jump. This is the full lineup for the women's long jump final. We are expecting plenty of fireworks. Okabare, global medalist, great sprinter. Klishina, Stanovich, so consistent, the Serbian, on the global stage. And will it come down to Reese against Bartoletta? Bartoletta has taken both of Brittany's global titles. She wants them back. Fascinating rivalry and a really intriguing dynamic should be unfolding there over the next hour or so. Daria Klishina in the first round, the best qualifier with 6.66, yet to claim her first global medal. She's clearly in good form. Hits the board well, and that is a very good opener. Just missed a medal at the World Indoors a few years ago. She's been on the podium in the European Championships, but never in the Worlds or the Olympics. Well, it's not quite 7 meters, but it's not far away. Absolutely perfect on the board. What a start for Klishina. Is this destined to be the year where she finally stands on a global podium? Well, it's a great start. Just waiting. 6.78. What a good opener from the neutral athlete, Lauma Grieva. 6.58 in qualifying. 32-year-old Latvian has gone out to 6.86 a few years ago. Not much room left on the board. She skips over the cameras, gets the white flag. Well, it looked okay. Remember, Klishina leapt out to 6.78 And she's laid down a very handy early marker. Well, I said not much room to maneuver on the ball. That was just about perfect. A centimetre. So the Latvian getting an early valid jump in here in what is a very high quality competition. 6:54. She moves into second place. Reese, no longer the reigning world champion, no longer the reigning Olympic champion, but she is without doubt one of the greats of all time, and she will be so fired up for this final. What's her opening salvo? Powerful, aggressive on the runway. Oh, that's big. That is big. Reese starting here as she means to go on. Klashina leads with 6:78. What a fabulous record she's had in this event over the years. World champion in Berlin and Daegu and Moscow. Olympic champion here in London. Silver behind Bartoletta last year in Rio. She's getting back to her best. 6:75, so she's 3 centimetres shy of Klashina, but that's a solid start from the former world and Olympic champion. Meanwhile, from a former to a present, Bartoletta, twice a winner. Won it as Tiana Madison back in the pouring rain of Helsinki in 05, and then won in Beijing. Good start from Klashina and Reese. What do we get from Bartoletta? Well, she's got that explosive power. Not quite as good from the reigning Olympic champion and defending world champion. Looks around about 6.5, as opposed to the 6:78 from Klashina and the 6:75 we've just seen from Brittney Reese. Got a lifetime best of 7:17. Bartoletta, 7:01 this season. Hoping to join Reese as a 3-time world champion. Well, she'll need more than that, and she's got bags of talent. A no jump from Stanovich in the first round. World indoor silver medalist, Olympic bronze medalist. She is so consistent and so often gets it right on the big occasion. No Serbian medals yet. Oh, that's big. That is an excellent jump from Stanovich. Now Klashina at the moment is leading with that opening round effort of 6:78. And unlike Stanovich, who has a whole host of global medals, world indoor silver, Olympic bronze last year, 2 bronze in the World Championships outdoor, Klashina has never won a global medal. She leads at the moment, but I think Stanovich is going to challenge with that. Good jumping by the Serbian European champion. Yes, the claps come through, and Stanovich just 4 centimetres shy of the 7-metre line. That is a fantastic jump in the second round. Klashina has just seen her lead taken away by Ivana Stanovich of Serbia. What can she do here to respond? 6th in Daegu and Moscow, 10th in Beijing, 9th in the Olympics last year. This is so far a much better effort from the Russian athlete, flying the flag as a neutral. Here she goes, 6:78 in the first. That's another good jump. Well, Stanovich had 6:96 to take the lead. That is a fine, fine response from Klashina. Well, this really is developing into a great competition, and not just because of the expected duel between the 2 Americans who've swapped world and Olympic titles. Reese at the moment 6:75 and Bartoletta 6:56. So the 2 Americans with a bit to do here to catch the Europeans. It's an improvement and a season's best. She closes on Stanovich, but the Serbian still leads. Brittney Reese, 6:75 in the first round. The 3-time world champion lying in 3rd place at the moment. the whole far side of the stadium waiting for what could be something very special. Every time she comes down the runway with such force and vigour, you never quite know what she's capable of. Brilliant athlete when she gets it right. Well, she's not going to trouble the leaders there, even if it was measured. So a little bit to think about for Brittney Reese. She's in a medal position at the moment, as I said, with 6.75. But Stanovich, oh, it's marginal, less than a centimetre. Still, if she makes a dent in the plasticine, it doesn't matter by how much. And that wouldn't have been long enough to wrestle the lead away from Stanovich anyway. 6.75. Reese has 4 chances left to try and retain the title she last won in Moscow. Tiana Bartoletta won in Helsinki as Tiana Madison as a teenager. 2 titles 10 years apart. Can she close in on a third here, the Olympic champion? Well, she's once again around about the 6.50 mark there. 6.56 in the first round. You can tell by the way she runs in, she's got such explosive power, but it's not quite clicking at the moment in the early stages of this final.
Well, she's got a base sprint speed, hasn't she? Under 11 seconds for 100 metres, a regular first leg runner for the US team in their 4x100 metre relay. But you just get the sense, Rob, that somebody's got something big here. Someone's going to go past that 7 metre line, put a cat amongst the pigeons. But what a great start to the competition with the distances.
Now, this is a really big moment for Lorraine Hugen. Now or never. 8th, by the way, is 6.54 at the moment with Griever of Latvia. She's got to get one on the board here. She'll be bitterly disappointed if she doesn't. Wow, if she gets the white flag, yes, that's better. That's more like it. My goodness me, the 25-year-old putting herself through the mill a little bit there. A really good effort. But she left that very, very late indeed. Struggled to get her run up right in the first 2 rounds. Absolutely perfect that time on the board. Good acceleration, good lift, good height, much better. Giving herself a great chance of a further 3 jumps. 6.72, she moves into 4th. This is Chantel Malone of the British Virgin Islands. She's in 9th at the moment, fairly consistent series. 4th in the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow after carrying the flag. Great to see the British Virgin Islands represented here at the Championships. So Malone needs to improve if she's to have further jumps. Well, it's close, isn't it? Griever is just 2 centimetres further away from the British Virgin Islander. 6.52. Giving away a few centimetres on the board. Well, we're getting towards the halfway stage of this long jump competition, and it really is turning out to be a good one. And as Catherine said, we're waiting for the fireworks. Oh, that is an improvement, and Malone has given herself a great chance of a further 3 jumps. Elaine Martens. Quite a few athletes packed together in the 6.50s. So Malone has just gone up to 6th with 6.57, but with 6.52 you can see the Brazilian down in 10th. Looks like she was over the board there. That's a real shame. So the Brazilian 3-time national champion, who was 10th in the Pan American Champs in Toronto a couple of years ago, takes no further part in the competition. Decent effort in the first round, but not to be enough for a further 3 jumps. Cracking night of athletics. So, Reese, the 3-time indoor champion, 3-time outdoor champion, in the bronze medal position at the moment. We know this woman has a big one in the locker. if she can get it right. One of the all-time greats, a little bit ragged, but so powerful on the runway. Oh, yes! My goodness me. That's the champion coming out right there. Gold here in London 5 years ago. She is desperate to reclaim the world title that Bartoletta took from her in Beijing 2 years ago. Absolutely perfect on the board. Stanovich leading at the moment with 6.96. She's watching, she's waiting, she's nodding. The first 7-metre jump of the night, and Reese puts herself in the driving seat. Chantel Malone did brilliantly to give herself a chance of 3 further jumps. Very consistent series. Oh, that's a shame. That looked a little better. She's had 52, 44 and 57. Tiana Bartoletta. She knows that her compatriot Brittney Reese has one hand on her world title. 6.60 so far. She has gone over 7 metres this season, and she's going to need to again. Bartoletta down in 5th. World indoor champion over 60 metres back in 2006. So we know that she has incredible explosive speed. Here we go. Needs a big response here. Well, it's getting better, isn't it? But it's still not quite up to the standard. Stanovich 6.96 in silver. Klashina's in the bronze medal position at the moment with 6.88. And of course, Reese bidding for an unprecedented 4th world title in the long jump. 2 men have done that. I think it's Saladino and Phillips, but no woman's won 4. Miles to make up on the board. So Bartoletta looking to improve on 6.60. Well, she has marginally, but she's still a long way short of what we know she can produce at her best. Stratton. Came through to give herself an opportunity of 3 further jumps with that 6.67. Drifted towards the right-hand side. She did well there in the 3rd round. Looked as though she was heading for an early exit. Watching her dad in the stands, waiting for a little bit of advice. So still Klashina, Stanovich and Reese leading at the moment. So yeah, a little bit light of what she did in the 3rd round, 6.55, so she stays in 5th. Remember, Lorraine Ugen only managed to get herself 3 further jumps with that really good 6.72, showing lots of nerve. Big roar from the crowd. It was a long jump, but her foot was in the plasticine. So it's coming together for the British woman, but she needs to improve to get on the podium. Klashina's in bronze with 6.88, Ugen's best 6.72. She's not a million miles away. Daria Klashina in the 4th round. Klashina in the bronze medal position with 6.88 at the moment. She's never been on the podium before, and she's producing the best jumps we've seen from her under pressure. This is good from Daria Klashina. Silver is 6.96 with Stanovich. That was her effort in the 2nd round. Reese leads with 7.02. Klashina, a fine series of jumps, 6.78, 6.88. No jump in the 3rd round. 6.91 She consolidates on her third place at the moment, and those other jumps might become important if she ends up tying with Stanovich for distance. Now Bartoletta, the reigning world champion, the reigning Olympic champion, needs to find more. We know when she gets it right, she can soar to beyond 7 meters. That's what she needs to keep hold of her title. That's better. That's more like it from Bartoletta. Tidy as she enters the sand. She gets the white flag. And now the fireworks are beginning to fly. I don't think it's enough to take on the lead of Reese at 7:02, but it might potentially put Klashina down in 4th. She has a habit of producing her best exactly when she needs it. Remember, she stole the gold from Reese in the last round. 6:88. She's getting so close to the medals. This is Brooke Stratton. Stratton lying out of the medals at the moment. That's a good jump from the Australian. That's an excellent effort. 6:67, her best at the moment. That was in the 3rd round to give her 3 further jumps. Then 6:55. She does have a habit of kind of drifting towards the right-hand side of the pit. What an intriguing battle this is. That might be an improvement. Oh, it's exactly the same. 6:67. She's in 6th place, Daria Klashina, in the bronze medal position. This is her penultimate jump. 6:91. She's getting better as it goes on. Oh, that's big. Does she get the white flag? It looks close. Wow. Now this is really going to get the pulses racing for the Americans. Reese leads at the moment. Stanovich is in 2nd place. Reese 7:02, Stanovich 6:96. Bartoletta's closing. I thought it was tight on the board. Less than a centimetre to spare. She's in 3rd at the moment. 6:96 would take the lead from Stanovich, even if she ties her, because she's got a better countback. 7 meters. She moves into 2nd place. It's the best we've ever seen from her on the global stage. This is Chantel Malone in 7th place at the moment. They will be so proud of her on Tortola. There might be a few watching in the Bat Cave, a legendary nightclub on the island. 7th place here. Needs 6:96 for a place on the podium. That's another good jump, but it is not to be a medal for the British Virgin Islander. Are we going to see some fireworks in this last round? Bartoletta goes next, and remember, she stole the gold from Reese in the last round in Rio last year.
So she has a habit, Bartoletta, but look at the distances there. 6 centimetres separating the 3 medalists at the moment. And a lady to come that's capable of surpassing all of them in terms of distance, isn't she, with her lifetime best of 7 meters and 17.
Bartoletta has been waiting a long time for this last chance to salvage her world title. It's right on the line here. She is in 4th place at the moment, 6:88 in the 5th round. She needs 7:03 for gold, 7:01 for silver, 6:97 for the bronze. Can she launch a big one here, as she did in Rio last year? Oh, yes, she can. She gets the white flag. This could be close. I think she knows by that body language that it's not going to be 7:02, which is the lead of Brittney Reese. Reese hoping to secure an unprecedented 4th world title. Spot on the board from Bartoletta. Remember, Stanovich occupies bronze at the moment with 6:96. Has she improved? I think so, but by how much? Oh, 6.97. She's in the bronze medal position, pushing Stanovich down into fourth by 1 single centimetre. Once again, she's produced her best in the last round. Remember, Stanovich will have a chance to respond. Stratton here. Stratton's gone over 77 metres at her best. She's had a fine series here. Not to be, though, this time. Twice she's hit 6.67 in the third and fifth rounds. It's been a good series from the Australian. 7th last year in Rio. She certainly will have improved on that. So, still waiting to see whether there'll be a response. She's in 6th place, Stratton. It's been a fine, fine final. Now, Lorraine Ugan, 6.72, the only valid jump she's produced in the third round. She needs 6.97, 6.98 for bronze. Not to be this time. It just hasn't quite clicked here. 6.72, well, she needed that in the third round. That is, by some margin, her best effort. That one not as long. Miles to spare on the board, over 30 centimetres. Well, it's been an intriguing competition, it really has. Bartoletta in bronze at the moment with 6.97. So, Daria Klishina. It's been the best we've ever seen from her on the global stage. She's in the silver medal position here with 7 metres. Can she beat Reese? To do so, she'd need 7.03. It's already been a brilliant, brilliant competition. Only Stanovich and Reese still to come. So Klishina will be on the podium. What colour? Oh, it's a great effort there. Well, she has produced a fantastic series of jumps. 6.88, 6.91, 7 metres. Reese knows there's only one person now who can deny her the gold medal. It's Stanovich, who jumps next. She's in fourth. Still waiting for Klishina's distance to come up there. I don't think it's as long as the 7 metres she produced in the 5th round. But she's on the podium for the first time in her life. Just waiting to see how far that jump was. It's not as far. It's 6.83. It's silver at the moment, and it's gold at the moment for Brittney Reese. So, Stanovich is in 4th place at the moment. Can she push Tiana Bartoletta down off the podium? She needs 6.98 here, the Olympic bronze medalist. She so often produces her best. My goodness me. Wow. What drama here. It's the penultimate jump of the competition. We've only got Brittney Reese to come. That was big. Bartoletta is in bronze at the moment, the defending champion, with 6.97. Klishina with 7 metres is in the silver medal position. Reese leading with 7.02. 6.91. It was close, but she's not to deny Bartoletta a medal. And that means Brittney Reese is a 4-time world champion. It's unprecedented. No woman has ever done that before. 2 men have won 4 long jump world titles, but no woman has ever done that.
Actually, yeah.
It did look as though that was slightly further than the measurement that was given. It looked like it was very close to 7 metres. However, it has been given as 6.91, so Stanovich is in fourth, and Reese with a glory jump now. The whole stadium clapping her, willing her on. She's the world champion. Oh, and it's the biggest jump, but it's a red flag. It would have been her biggest jump of the competition, and Reese has wrestled back the world title from her compatriot, who gets the bronze, and at last, for Daria Klishina, a global medal. It's the silver for her. Only 2 women over 7 metres. A fine, fine, fine competition. Reese has recently adopted a son, Alex, and I'm sure if he's not in the stadium, he'll be watching with the rest of her family back home. She must now surely go down as one of the greats, a 4-time world champion. She is on top of the world once again.
It was the competition we hoped, wasn't it? And it always is with the female long jumpers. Stanovich, Reese, Bartoletta, and Klishina stepping up, as Rob said, for her first major medal. How close was that, though? 5 centimetres in the end, separating the 3 medalists. But Brittney Reese, 4 outdoor golds, 3 world indoor golds, Olympic gold as well. I agree, potentially one of the best of all time.
Well, let's just have one last look at the last jump, which was the penultimate jump of the competition from Stanovich. Now, we thought Stanovich had jumped very, very, very close to 7 metres, bearing in mind there was such a tiny margin between gold and fourth. The label may have just come down. It's her number on her back, and it may just have brushed the sand, which is why it was measured at 6.91 when it looked to the naked eye and the graphic on the screen as though it was very, very, very close to 7 metres. What drama at the end of the long jump. Well, we've been talking about what a great championship it's been for the Americans. Another final, another 2 medals. We've seen so many gold and silver for the United States. Gold and bronze this time. Brittney Reese makes history, the first woman to become a 4-time world champion in long jump. Klishina's on the global podium for the first time as a neutral, and Bartoletta in bronze medal position, not the gold this time. Stanovich is in fourth, but we are just hearing breaking news that the officials are double checking that last round effort of 6.91 was indeed measured correctly. And still the drama goes on, even though the celebrations on the lap of honour is underway for Brittney Reese and Bartoletta in third. We will, of course, keep you updated if there's any change, but at the moment, it's Reese with the gold, Klishina with the silver, and Bartoletta, the defending champion, with the bronze this time.